Hey everyone, it's Kim Beegler, owner of Ewethful Fiber Farm and Mill. I am sitting at home today, coming to you from Harrisburg, Oregon, and it's a little bit of a different episode because usually for those of you that are new, I start in the wool mill and I talk about processing fiber, owning a wool mill, walk you through a lot of the stuff I do there, but I am at home right now and I didn't work a lot last week because I had family visiting. So I thought I would share with you this week a little quick update on some of the stuff I'm working on, including this bad girl. I am spinning up 100% qiviut on my support spindle. So I thought I'd talk about that for a few minutes and do a little demo that may or may not be pretty, and catch up on a few other things. And then that's really it for this week. I will have a little bit of a maker soapbox, but it's going to be quick because for all the reasons I just said, honestly, but I did go a marching this week on May Day, so I will include a couple little clips from that also. So let's talk a little bit about fiber, shall we? So first, very quickly, I'm going to show you, and I think I'm a little bit crooked. Sorry for the weird spot and the weird lighting, but you can see that my cat's right there and we can't disturb her. I'm in my semi-sewing room and it's kind of the quietest, easiest place to do this today. And hopefully I will not lose audio while I'm recording. So, okay, I wanted to just show you a quick update on my Breakwater beach vest because I'm cruising, you all. And maybe next week when I come on, I will have this done. I'm very excited. Here is where we are at. We had the whole body done. It's supposed to be about 7.5 inches. I think I'm at about 6.5, maybe a little further on the turtleneck. And then I just have to pick up and do the stitches for each sleeve. And it's a vest, so it's just a ribbed 1 inch little bit on the sleeve. Then we're done. And then my plan is I may actually just steam the neck and the arm bands because why not? I'm definitely not going to soak the whole thing and reblock it because it took a lot to get this looking as good as it does. A lot of pinning and a lot of blocking. So I'm not going to do that. I debated I could like soak this and then, so we'll see because it is supposed to have a good amount of stretch. So I may end up just soaking the neck and then blocking out the neck and steaming the arms. That's my plan, but we are so close as we come into this long stretch where we don't see a lot of rain or cool weather on the horizon. Of course, right? Of course. Okay. And I will put a link to that. I've been talking about that for a couple weeks, but I'll put a link to the pattern and the yarn in the show notes. Okay. You may see next to me here that here's my confession for the week. A new sewing machine. I mean, we knew it was probably going to come, right? You all know me that have been watching for a while. You know that I have a fair amount of tools. I will say that there's a reason I bought this. The other one I had was a Kenmore that was technically new-ish, but maybe 15 years old. It just hadn't gotten a lot of use. So I was having all sorts of issues with it and I took it in. I had to get the reverse stitch fixed, the reverse stitch button, took it into a place. He fixed it, but then when I got it back, my speed control was not working. And it's not even just that it's not working. It is like on mega speed. Like if anybody could sew at that speed, oh my gosh, they're amazing. And it's so fast that when you take your foot off the foot pedal to stop it from sewing, it sews for like another 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Like it's like going so fast it can't even stop itself. And the thread, point is there is no way in heck a beginning sewer like me was going to be able to use it. So after 2 weeks of like just frustration with not having a machine, the people that fixed it are gone. So it's just like, I have like two. My husband was like, just go buy a machine that you know is going to work. So this is a Janome Loft 100. I bought it at a local textile store. It is Paramount Sewing and Vacuum in Eugene. They were really, really nice. I love it. So let me show you really quick. I'll just come over here and you can kind of see it up close. We don't need to get too. This is supposed to be a wool podcast, but you can also see my lovely view out the window. But it's really nice. It has just a little bit of computer. I think you can see there's a little Ooh, that's a sound. There's a little screen here. So all the stitches are computerized as far as it has, you can just click through and it'll come up with the default like width and length settings. Anyway, I am very happy with it. They also at Paramount include 3 years of free service on it, in addition to 15% off, 15% off product, not off sewing machines and not off furniture. Hold on, stay with me. I'm at home, which always means that my tripod's a little, maybe we'll edit that for you all, huh? Okay, so 15% off products, and they were just really nice. And they actually, you can get like 2 classes, I think, to like understand your new machine. So small business, what can I say? You may pay a little bit more, but look at all the perks that come with it and supporting a small business. If you're thinking about buying a sewing machine, you may want to buy it now very quickly, because they said the prices are about to go. They're already increasing and they're about to go more because of tariffs. So also, if you're about to buy some fabric or anything to do with sewing, guess what? Prices are about to go up. So keep that in mind as you, just looking forward. Okay, so now let's actually talk about some fiber. We did talk about knitting. So, okay, fiber. I know, I don't even know. I don't even know about my hair today, but we're just doing it, and we'll let you see Tabitha because she's being exceptionally cute. So I am spinning on let's talk about the support spindle first. This is one of my favorite places to get support spindles from. They have them in stock. You don't have to fight for them. This is Kravelli, Kravelli. I will put it down here if I remember, and I will put a link in the show notes. I really like they're a great company to work with, and they support small artisans, and they have a lot in stock. You can read about their whole history on their website and what they do. But you also get, I don't have it with me, but a lot of times you'll get a little bowl with it. So so that you have something to set this in while it's on your lap or on the table, however you're gonna do that. For the purposes of my spinning today, I should say, of all the drop spin or support spindles I have tried out, this is my favorite. It's my favorite. It spins super fast. It's comfortable. I got a slightly longer shaft on it, and it fits me and my body and my hands really well. So hurrah. And I think it was like $60 US for the spindle and the bowl when I bought it. I'm not sure what they are right now, but okay, here is an egg dish. That's what I'm using. It's not maybe ideal for this support spindle because it does kind of like not have a lot of extra room, but it's working. And I lost one of mine, and I've got to find another perfect one. What am I spinning? So I am spinning qiviut. And for those of you that don't know, qiviut is the fiber that comes off of muskox, those big giant creatures. They live in Alaska. I think there's 1 or 2 farms, maybe. They're not domesticated. They have not successfully domesticated these animals. So the way that you get this fiber is either through the farms, collecting it off of bushes, fences, things like that, because they will naturally shed, and this fiber will get left behind if they're rubbing on stuff or, whatever they're doing out in the wild. And also people, I think you can, from what I understand, my cousin was just here and kind of explaining to me that I think their numbers are back up. I believe they were endangered. The numbers are back up, so you can get special permits to hunt them. We won't even get into that. And then you obviously would hunt it, and then there's the pelt, and there you go. And I assume when they die and things like that, the pelts are saved. I know they are. Okay, so here it is up close and personal. If you have never looked at the price of qiviut, it is about somewhere between $50+ an ounce de-haired. So when it comes, like I used to de-hair at the mill, and I would get fiber that was collected. A lot of times it can have guard hairs like this long, really thick, and they are actual like hairs. it's not the prettiest stuff when you first see it. And this is the undercoat that is super fine, one of the finest fibers in the world. And obviously they just come off of this one creature that is in this one place. And so it adds to the expense of it. Having to be dehaired adds to the expense of it. You could get it dehaired, I would imagine, for a little bit less, but you're going to have to dehair it. And dehairing is not the easiest thing if you have ever tried. This came from, I will put, it's qiviut.com, and it is grade 1 raw, hand cleaned. I'm spinning it raw. I have not washed it, but hand cleaned. I believe what I can understand from their website is they are dehairing it by hand. It's very, very clean feeling. They don't have lanolin, so, and it doesn't seem very dirty, even like the bag is very clean. So I'm just spinning it in this raw form. I'm not prepping it at all. I am just spinning it like from this little cloud. And it is a little bit, because they have done some dehairing on it. It's not that hard. I shouldn't say it's not that hard to spin, but it spins. How's that? And I decided to do this on my support spindle because support spindles, the twist comes in incredibly fast on a support spindle. If you do not know that, and you are trying to learn a support spindle, I would recommend starting with a shorter fiber, because the twist goes in so fast that if you are working with a long fiber, the same as you would on a spinning wheel or anything, or a drop spindle for that matter, if the twist is going in really fast and it's a long staple length fiber, you are going to be pinching the ends. Like, you're going to have twists going in faster than your hand can get away for the drafting. And you're spinning long draw when you are spinning support spindles. So it is a bit of a learning curve, whether you're spinning long draw on a wheel, or you are spinning short forward on a wheel, or you're spinning drop spindle. There is a bit of a learning curve to this. So qiviut is a very short, their undercoat, I should say, is a very short fiber. I don't even know if I'll be able to, but so there's my little fingers pulling it apart, and then it will quickly. So I would say it is maybe an inch, maybe, if you're lucky. And it looks really sort of pilly when it's like this, but it does stretch out pretty well when you are working with it, but it will look a little pilled. But when you start to spin it, it does sort of, the fibers will stretch out. And it's just because the fibers are so short. I don't know why I don't have the light on. Hold on. I don't know if that helped at all, but some clouds are rolling in, so it's starting to get a little cloudy. I'm checking my audio. We're good. Okay, so qiviut. I decided to spin on the support spindle because it is a short fiber. Twist goes in really fast. I would not recommend starting to learn on support spindle with qiviut because of the expense and the learning curve, but when you get there. So I am not an expert at support spindle. I only started maybe a little over a year ago. I put it down for a while. So it's kind of like getting the muscle memory back again, but I'm going to do a little bit of spinning for you, and it's not going to be perfect. I don't know if you'll see, but because I am literally not prepping this at all, I am just, and I'll take a picture. I'll try to remember to take a picture and put it up here so you can see a little bit better. But because I'm not prepping, there are going to be little spots where it's a little uneven. That's okay. You can either pull those little tufts out when you go to ply or leave them in there. It doesn't really matter, but I've done some ply backs and it looks beautiful. It is going to be a very thin yarn. It would be great for spinning or for knitting a lace shawl or something like that, or using a little bit of not a shawl. Hold on. That would be a lot of qiviut. Remember, I did want to show you how much, because I know an ounce doesn't sound like a lot, but it's such a fine fiber that this is how much an ounce is. So if you're looking at it online, if you go to the website and decide to look at it, which you're supporting a great community, if you are, qiviut.com, you're going to get a lot of qiviut. And so that's part of also why I decided to spin it this way, because it's going to be a long process. It's going to be a slow process, and but it's a valuable fiber, so why not do it that way? And as I continue to spin it, my spinning will get better, and it'll be a little bit of a journey in that yarn. Can always get more down the road if I want it and decide I'm ready to spend that kind of money again. Actually, I didn't spend it. My cousin gave it to me as a gift, so thank you, Nancy, if you're listening or watching. Okay. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see it in the correct motion and maybe put myself in a different spot to make sure that you can see. So let's go spin some qiviut. Remember, I'm not an expert at this. Okay, you all. I think we've got her going a bit. And like I said, or I don't even know if I will have that part in it, but all I did to prep this, I said I didn't do any prep, but I did do a little bit. I actually just kind of opened the fibers up. That's it though. I didn't organize them at all. I just did that so that it would be a little easier. Oop, I'm getting a little kickback on some of the fiber then. I just did that so it would be a little bit easier to spin. And so I'll go through and kind of, and it almost looks like it's been prepped, but it has not. It has not, and it is spinning very fine. Like I said, there will be chunks where I might get a little, here we go. And I'm not spinning very long draw on this because, I mean, I am spinning long draw, but not for very long, once partially because I want you all to be able to see. And just a reminder, if you're new, I took Josephine Walton's online course to learn because I am a proponent of online courses. For those of you that also don't know, I do have an online course for learning to spin on a wheel and also a shorter course on learning to spin long draw on your wheel, assuming you've already sorry, I lost my, just trying to spin days and out. That's the joy of spinning, right? So, like I said, I wouldn't recommend starting with this fiber. And also I am not an expert in this. And I would like to tell you that learning long draw or being a long draw spinner helped me in this process. I don't know if it did. I think the biggest thing that helped was the online course and then realizing that I needed to spin with a fiber that was shorter than what, you know, on my wheel. When I teach people on the wheel, I teach them to start with a Romney. Too long. Whoop, we lost our fiber. All right, I will do a little bit more and then I'll try to get a close up so you can see, and I'll do a little wrap on this so you can see how I get the yarn further down. So I'm just doing a little bit of prepping here, just opening up the fibers. And like I said, it almost kind of looks like a super disorganized roving when I'm spinning it because I kind of just do that. But, and I hope my camera is taking decent enough angle of this. And then I'm just kind of like you would with spinning, overlapping the fibers a little bit to get that join going and being very mindful of the join. You want a nice tight join. So I do a little, you have to have, and I'm getting a little caught up there. So I'm gonna, if your hands are sweaty with qiviut, that is not going to work. If you hold too tight when you're spinning on a support spindle, that is not going to work. As far as your fiber, you do really have to have light hands. And part of the reason that I decided to do this was because I thought if I don't do something with it, it's going to, just looking to see if I am. There's one little spot that's a little chunky and I'm gonna just undo it, untwist it a little bit. If I can get in there and try to stretch it out and let twist build up. If I had just put it into my stash, I would never spin it. It would become too special. And I thought, that's silly. Life's short. Spin the pretty fiber, right? And enjoy it. So I wouldn't recommend this for beginners. And really I am a beginner, but what the heck. Okay, I just wanted to show you. And if you need a little extra twist because you feel like you didn't get enough, all you have to do is twist and let it build up. So I'm going to break this and just let you see how I wrap it on. Like I said, this is all Josephine's class. I am not at a level to teach this, but I'm just doing this little butterfly and you can see it's nice and strong. This is like a way to know, ooh, except for right there, if you are doing enough twists. So what do I want to do here? I probably will just tie a knot because I don't want to waste any of it, and that was a fair amount. So we're just going to tie a knot and keep going. If I can get my tiny, tiny yarn to work with me. And I'll go back and trim that up later. So don't panic if you have that happen. But as I was saying, and that was right when I started, of course. So it's a great way to know if you're putting enough twist in. It's pretty obvious when you go to, and she has you do this just so that you can kind of spin, 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 and then really get a nice tight allotment down here, so you can utilize as much storage space on your drops or on your support spindle as possible. So there you go, you all. And we're ready to start the next batch. Okay, that's just a beautiful day, a beautiful day. So I thought you'd enjoy looking out there. Finish up. So I think that is most of what I had today. Let me see if you can see it any better. And yes, there we go. So it's going to be a little not perfect. Like I said, if I tried to make it perfect, I would never spin it if I was just like gonna freak out over it. So I'm not gonna freak out over it. I'm just enjoying it, and it's great practice with the support spindle, because after this, I'm gonna be able to spin anything. So, okay, finishing up, soapbox time. If you don't want to hear anything political, then this is the time to bow out, because I think I'm pretty much done after this. I don't really have a whole lot to say. I have been, I have a whole lot to say, but this week I'm just feeling kind of extra tired. Yesterday I was out on May Day at the protest in Salem, Oregon, and I will share a couple clips from that just so you can see what it's like to be out. If you haven't been out and you can get out, I strongly encourage you to. It is a place that I think you may find solidarity, assuming that you are unhappy with the way that the current administration is running the United States. You may find peace and joy and comfort in knowing there are others that are feeling the same way that you are. That is what I find in it. And it also helps me feel like I'm doing something in addition to trying to write emails or make phone calls or speaking out here and having conversations with you all. And I do believe that the more people that get out, the more we will be listened to. So anyway, there you go. But I'll share a little bit of what it was like to be out in that. And this week in the United States, nothing is really moving forward, right? Things are being dismantled and destroyed would probably be a better way to say it. A lot of the things that we all believe in, need, and use in this country are being dismantled. So that is unfortunate. And as with last week, Ukraine, no peace there yet. Gaza, no peace there yet. People are still being deported without due justice. Our president is still defying the courts. Basically, there's a whole lot of just unrest. The economy is not doing great. It is not Biden's fault, to be clear, as he said recently. He's trying to tell people that maybe you'll just have to buy your kids less dolls for Christmas this year because there won't be as many, and maybe they'll be more expensive, not realizing that there's a significant portion of this country that can barely afford to buy their child one doll, if any doll at all. So raising the prices on them does not help that situation, much less does it help the situation to assume that all Americans can buy just an endless amount of dolls on any day. So it's rough. It's rough. And now we're just going to end it there, and I'm going to share some videos. But before I do, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, I have got online courses, like I said, for learning to spin on a wheel, learning long draw spinning. If you are already a long draw or a short forward spinner, that could be a great course for you. You can start it as soon as you buy it. So it's an amazing thing from the comfort of your home. And Joseph and Walton is the online course that I took for support spindle. Don't forget, I've got a Ewethful Patreon community if you love what I'm doing on here and you want to support it and potentially become more involved in the Ewethful community. I would love to see you there. We do have, it's May, so a new month is coming up. We're going to do a workshop on spinning silk. After the qiviut, the silk should seem easy enough, we hope, including a silk hanky that I have had sitting in a drawer forever. We also will have a social meetup. There's a Q&A once a month, so it's a great place, and you get access to the shop updates, which is sort of one of the few places that you can buy fiber from me these days. So that's it. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe, all those things. Everything's in the show notes. Head there if you want more information about me. Okay. Until next week, there'll be some videos after this, but in case you're out, I get it. And so take care of yourself, right? Stay healthy, be kind to everybody around you, because it doesn't do any good for us to be yelling at each other. We don't know each other's stories. We don't know what's going on with that person, what their day is like. So just try to give grace, not only to yourself, but to others. And also don't forget to make so many pretty things, because that's why we started here in the first place. So thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the videos, and take care of yourself.
We have an immigration system that is outdated and unjust, keeping millions in the shadow, even those who have lived here for decades, raised families here, pay taxes, and contribute deeply to our communities.
This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. What democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.